Welcome to AI TV. We're broadcasting live from Cape Town today, and it's a great pleasure to welcome Matt from Omnisient. You're the Chief Commercial Officer, Matt, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
So for everyone watching right now, tell us a little bit about Omnisient and what you guys do.
Okay, so Omnisient started as a single customer view platform because we found that lots of clients were really struggling to summarize all their data in a way that they could go to one place for all their customer data. And in the process of that, we realized that there was a much bigger opportunity, which was that clients were struggling to share this kind of information across organizations. And that's where we moved into what we call secure data exchange. So the company as it stands, we build a secure data exchange. We've got a secure data exchange platform, it's called intersect.ai, and we help clients create data assets, share them, and trade them in a secure and compliant way.
So, I mean, it's fantastic that you guys have started this project and the business that goes with it, but I mean, really AI is about data, isn't it? And if people want to explore data, and particularly in the case of what you're doing, say two companies want to explore data and how they might want to collaborate, you're providing a mechanism for doing that. So how can a large bank who wants to talk to a large telco use your platform? Because essentially they'd be a kind of client of yours, is that correct?
That's exactly right, yeah. So I mean, there's various AI components of the platform, but the bigger picture for us is to enable AI, as you point out. And so in that example where we've got two businesses that want to collaborate, let's say we've got a bank and a telecommunications business. They might want to collaborate for many reasons, but usually the starting point of any collaboration is, do we have any commonality in our customers? Is there any overlap? And often we found that process can be very protracted. It can take months and months and months and months to get to the point of any clarity of whether there's an opportunity, never mind unlocking the data for real analytics and AI. So our platform really shortcuts that process because we've taken all the risk out of sharing data. So there's no intellectual property risk, there's no regulatory risk. We can enable these two, the bank and the telecommunications provider, to what we call date. So overlap their data sets and first of all see if there's any value in working together. And that can happen in days, really, but it normally takes weeks because of the way organizations often are. Things need to happen. And then once that value's been established, then we can move very quickly into sharing more complex data and providing secure environments for the kind of AI work to happen.
So essentially you're using clever encryption technology to mask both data sets,
yes,
but expose through the sharing of that data on your platform the common components where, as you say, it's a dating agency for data, if you want to call it that.
Exactly.
And then they can go into a deeper business relationship together, but through you as the broker.
Usually we do it through our platform. So the good example of this would be, let's say you've got a bank and a retailer, and the retailer wants to monetize their data, and the bank's interested in using that data for credit risk purposes. Now, for credit risk, you would need to build models and things on the data, so you want to evaluate the value of that data. So to get access to all that data from the retailer, that's actually a really tricky problem because you'd normally need consent for that. But because of the way our platform works, you don't need consent. So that means that analytical data set for the modeling can be loaded into our environment. The bank can try and build credit models based on that data set, and if it works, then they can look into a kind of a rollout type of relationship. So that we're making stuff possible that isn't really even normally possible.
Yeah, I mean, and how old is your company? So you're based here in Cape Town, correct?
Yes, we're in Cape Town. It was founded in 2014 with a single view kind of vision, but we actually only really moved into secure data exchange, which is where we know the future is, in the last year, really.
And what made you choose Cape Town as the destination to set your business up? Is it simple that you guys all live here and you just happen to be here, or what is the environment here like conducive to setting your business up here? How did you go about setting your business up in Cape Town?
Well, so I think there's a kind of a how it happened, and then there's the why it happened. So the simple truth is the three founders met and had an alignment around what we thought was an interesting opportunity. Obviously, we could have taken that anywhere, but we felt that South Africa has, especially on the client side, technical sophistication in terms of data and analytics. So maybe not as technically sophisticated as everywhere in the world, but especially in credit risk analytics and other types of analytics, we felt that there's quite a lot of client demand and talent. And so we felt that it was a great place to build the initial version of the platform. Even though we might have ambitions to take that out into other markets, we felt it was a great place to build it. Why we all came to be in Cape Town, I think, was why I think Cape Town's potentially a good place to have businesses, is I think that, what I've seen, I think there's one thing that Cape Town misses, but usually these startup ecosystems, you have talent, you have a good environment that attracts talent and keeps them happy, and then you have education, and then you have funding. So I think Cape Town ticks a lot of boxes. It is a little bit harder to get funding in South Africa, but I think that's changing. I think that's basically, I think.
Now people watching this will know that, and probably hearing my accent too, that you're not a South African. So yes. You're a Brit like me. So you could have chosen anywhere in the world to go, and you came to South Africa. So was that a lifestyle choice, or what? Was it like me? You got married to a South African?
So for me, it was an entrepreneurial journey, actually, interestingly enough. So I was in London, quite happy, and then I got approached actually about a job in Barcelona, and I was kind of terrified about that. And my now wife convinced me that it would be an amazing thing to do. So I kind of went with it, and we went out to Barcelona, and we had an amazing time. And that was for a smaller, more rapidly growing business in Barcelona, and I really enjoyed it. And that opened me up to the possibility of being elsewhere, and then an entrepreneurial opportunity came to me that was in Cape Town. And it just seemed impossible to kind of resist, really. Cape Town was always on my radar, but I can't pretend I had a plan to come to Cape Town, but I knew that it was a great place to be, and I was lucky enough to find an opportunity to come here.
And was there any assistance that you got from sort of local agencies here? I mean, we've been talking to people like Westgrow and Invest Cape Town and Western Cape Government. I mean, did you find within the ecosystem help from other agencies here?
For Omnisient?
Yeah.
We haven't as yet.
Okay, so you've been sort of fairly self-sufficient in most regards.
Yes, and I think that's possibly a little bit around with three relatively technical founders, so we're potentially on a bit. But we're hoping to change that. We're going to get some investors soon, hopefully, and then we're going to bring more people into the team and start being a bit more outward focused and try and spread the message and collaborate a lot more.
So we're coming to the end of the year, and then 2020. I mean, obviously you and I met, and you were at the AI Expo this year. How did you find that? How did you find that as a show? Did it give you value? And
it was. I thought it was a great experience for me personally. It was wonderful to be out there in front of a large audience. There was some pretty interesting engagement in the topic. So I remember our discussions around how do we help people understand data liberalization as a concept. How do we help them understand the value of this? And I felt the reaction to that was really good. So that was great for me personally to get that experience and feedback from the audience. As regards to the AI Expo in general. It was amazing to see so many different people interested in the broad topic. It was much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I had no real preconceived idea about how big it would be. And I had a lot of fun actually chatting to the various different other vendors who all had sort of interesting different things that they were doing. There was a single view vendor who was basically doing a much better version of what we were doing originally. Oh, right. So it was nice to chat to them.
That does happen sometimes.
Yeah, so that was really, really fun. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think that building those communities out is important. Yeah.
So going into 2020, I mean, just to sort of wrap up, I mean, what are the plans for Omnisient and Intersect AI? What's the big ticket items for you next year?
Yeah, so we're hoping to invest in our platform to add some really amazing features that we're really excited about, and then we want to spend the first sort of half of the year really road testing that in South Africa before then moving out potentially outside of South Africa to broaden the reach of the platform, probably into the UK or maybe other markets. Now we're already in a few other markets, but maybe Africa, but probably the UK.
And then if anyone watching wanted to get hold of you and find out about how they can share data and they're a corporate client, how can they find out more about you?
Well, so we will be updating the website.
Okay.
But we have two websites at the moment, but we've got omnisient.com and we've got intersect.biz, but we're in the process of relaunching them.
Okay.
So they can reach out via that, or they can always connect to me on LinkedIn, or yeah, that's basically the two best ways to reach us, really.
Normal methods.
Yeah, we've got contact forms on the websites and stuff. We just need to update them to reflect our new story, really.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, Matt, look, it's a pleasure talking to you. I think you're doing some great work in the ecosystem, and all the best for 2020. We look forward to you joining us next year. Thanks.
Thanks very much for the opportunity. I appreciate it, Nick.
Cheers.